Alright. I don't know if we're back or not, but I do not care. I'm just gonna go ahead and launch into it anyways, and I'm going to pray that people show up anyways. For fuck's sakes. Yeah, that was annoying. Really, not sure what happened there besides just Susan being Susan. Hard to tell, really. So, yep. Okay. Sweet, we're back. Alright. So we're good for the moment. That's really all I can hope for. Yeah, I'm just getting fucked with the live stats said that nobody was here, so whatever. Let's just get back into it. So, as we were about to do, we were going to take this and we're going to chop it up into a little arpeggio. So, we're just going to go measure by measure and split this big chord up into 4 separate ones, and then we're going to arpeggiate them. Which, in this function, which functionally means we're just going to play it 1 note at a time. But that's fine. Because what I'm planning on here is we're going to do a little harmonic device, just a little, not exactly melody so much as just a lead-ish something. You'll see what I mean when I actually get to it. So, it'll save me some work if I could just have them all selected and do a random arpeggio, but we'll see. Okay, sweet. Exactly what I wanted. Let's see how this sounds. Like shit, because I forgot to pick another patch. So, yeah, that was my mistake. We're gonna go back to the pads, because again, ambient. Let's just pick one at random, see how it sounds. Yeah, it sounded like shit, I get it, I'm sorry. Damn standard square wave or whatever the fuck it is. Let's hope this patch sounds a little better. But hey, look at it this way, at least we know the sound's working again. You know. Pick and choose, pick and choose. So I mostly like that except for the last note. So, let's snap to a chord and just pick another one. Pick a different note. Let's see how that sounds. So it sounds alright on its own. Fair enough. Let's see how it sounds in context. Didn't quite work how I wanted it to. Yeah. I agree the sound is cool as it is, but I didn't like the specific notes. So, let's fix that. Let's take this part, drag it down here, and we'll do much the same procedure we just did. Yeah, I don't know what... Yeah, that's the other thing about Reaper. If you're not experienced with it and you click the wrong segment, then weird shit happens. So, random art. Silly me, I just realized I didn't have a note selected. That would have been awkward. So, let's generate a random art from... Shit. I also forgot to select it 1 measure at a time to get the effect I want. Now, let's redo this. Let's hear how this sounds. Again, sounds mostly nice, but I want it an octave lower. So we're going to do the same thing you saw earlier, minus 12 semitones, an entire octave lower. So let's hear how that sounds in context. Space ambience. This is actually turning out significantly nicer than I thought it would. Wow. For being a bunch of random bullshit, this is actually sounding surprisingly nice. I didn't expect that. So, yeah, I was expecting that to be a complete meme, but this is actually sounding pretty nice. So, we'll repeat this. We'll just build another layer, I suppose. And once again, we'll use Helm. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, because, see, I'm having fun, which is largely, the point of these exercises, but at the same time, if you're enjoying it too, that's, again, very nice, because that's really what I'm supposed to be doing at the end of the day, entertaining you. My opinion in this doesn't really matter all that much. Quite as much. So, let's try a proper lead line. So, whoops. Nasty surprise there. So we're gonna go for the pad again. Let's see. Let's go for a soft pulse. That works. Dark volume up. Yeah, again, that really has a way of tricking you up. There is a way to, like, change what the standard preset is, but I don't use this often enough to really justify doing that. Because, again, this is basically the first serious time I've used synths at all. Just sort of, flying by the seat of my pants, praying that something sounds nice. So, let's go ahead and, snap into eighths. So I think I'm just going to scrub around a bit here. So, let me remind myself of what the progression is real quick. 5, 3, 6, 2. Alright. So, snap to the A major scale. So, now snap to the E major chord. Ray, good to see you. I don't know what you're talking about. This is a completely original model that I made myself. I put 2,000 hours into it. I would appreciate a few. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, you saw right through me. I'm sorry. Yeah, had to do a, you know what day it is. Had to do some sort of gimmick based on it. But that's not my only gimmick. The other gimmick being we're, yes, that's right. I am the definition of great art. Fuck. This is dumb. But if you stick around to the end, I have an announcement that might excite everybody in this room, if you're willing to stick with me to the end. Which, will not be a meme. I promise. Fingers, well, no, not fingers crossed. In that case, I mean, I was lying, but I'm not. But whatever the case. That's only the primary gimmick. The secondary gimmick is this is a randomly generated song. I picked a scale, I picked a key signature, I picked a chord progression, and I'm mostly picking notes at complete random. So, let's play what we have so far for our friend Ray here, just to show him the results. I would like to reemphasize, this is mostly random. Well, that's a major compliment if you think that doesn't sound random, because it really was, quite a... Yeah. I mean, there was somewhat of a trick to this, but, I can't spend all night repeating myself. It may benefit you to go back and watch the VOD. And, yeah, I guess I am in a bit of a staring into space sort of pose, ain't I? But, yeah. I guess, if you just know where to place human elements and where to be random, you can make any stupid-looking thing sound nice. So, back to where we were. We were writing a proper lead line. So, back to work. So that's chord number 1, which was the 5. Let's hear the sounds. So this particular sound might require a bit more emphasis. Not quite that much. So, what was the next chord again? It was the 3. So, snap to the key of A major, which was the randomly generated key. So, 1. So we're snapping to C sharp major, not major, C sharp minor triad. Let's hear how it sounds so far. Okay, next chord. Clap, clap. Next chord. That was fucking dumb, I apologize. So, A major key, and the next up is the 6. So, F sharp, and that's a minor chord, I believe. F sharp minor. One more playthrough. Alright, last chord. The minor 2. So, snap back to A major. So we want a B minor chord for this last measure. Or no, not the entire scale, just the chord. Silly me. Alright, so one last playthrough with the entire melody. Real nice, real nice. Surprisingly nice. Yeah, like I was ranting before, this is not turning out to be a shitpost whatsoever. This is actually turning out to be pretty nice for somebody who doesn't know what they're doing with ambient, making an ambient track. You expect a disaster, but you get something that isn't. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear you think so. Now, I get that somebody who listens to ambient all the time would think this is the dumbest thing ever, and they'd probably be right, but again, for somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, I'm making quite a bit of progress. So, one last little layer. I think we'll do something basic. We'll just harmonize this. Oh, that's good to hear. At least somebody in here has a frame of reference. Although, again, I'm surprised. Again, I would think somebody who knows what they're listening to would be able to point out all the dumb things, things that I shouldn't be doing, but then again, maybe I'm beating myself up too much, because a lot of the great musicians don't know what the hell they're doing. Like, see the band on my shirt, Metallica. They didn't know what the hell they were doing at all the first few albums, but those are all classics. Different genre and completely different feel, but largely the same idea. People who don't know what the hell they're doing, making something great by basically sheer accident and innocence. That's one of the nice things about music. People who, like, compared to other art forms, like, if you don't know what you're doing with drawing, it's gonna show. Absolutely. Unless they're an absolute prodigy. However, with music, there's just enough leeway that even if you don't know what you're doing, eventually you're going to be able to come up with something good, even not knowing what you're doing. And that's all the reason why I love it. Just so much more room for error than a lot of other forms of expression. Like streaming. I'm still surprised I have a viewership, but again, well, I'm just grateful for what I've got. Cannot take anything for granted. So, I think for the last little bit, we'll go ahead and let's go up with a harmony for this. And we'll, here's what we're going to do. We're going to copy this. So, what did I do here? Okay, so nothing happened. My eyes are just fucking with me here. Good to know. I see what happened here. What? Okay, I fucked something up clicking and dragging, but maybe if I'm lucky I actually fixed it. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to harmonize a bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by taking these and starting it on the 2. But of course, it would be smart if I actually applied the synthesizer. We're going to go back to pad, because that's been working for us so far. Let's pick this, Soft Sci-Fi Pad 5, just completely arbitrarily. No other reason than I just want to fuck with it. I want to hear how it sounds. Absolutely perfect. So, the first thing I'm going to do is, I want to take this a fifth lower, which is quite the undertaking. So, we'll just key snap it to a major scale. Alright, so we'll bring this down. Shit. Easy fix. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to interval invert. So in other words, I want these to swap places. Let's hear how it sounds. Let's bring the other lead in just for context. Might need to bring it in just a bit earlier. Yeah, forgive me for just kind of scrubbing around here. I'm just sort of experimenting. Because timing-wise, these are kind of wacky, because clearly, if you look here, where's the attack envelope? Well, whatever the case, it's starting slow attack, let's put it that way. Yeah, let's make it a bit simpler. Let's hear that. Okay, let's be smart about this time and snap to a B minor so I have some idea what I'm doing. B minor chord. Yeah, exactly. Outside my comfort zone. This is completely unlike anything I've ever written, so, that's exactly that. And yes, I would agree. So, that's all written, so let's just go ahead and hear how everything sounds together. So, mostly fine, except everything's just a bit loud. But that's an easy fix. We'll just take everything and turn it down slightly. So, for the ending, I think I'm just going to go with ending on what we started with, which was whatever dominant chord we were, A major. So apparently we were using a mode all this time. Which one I don't recall off the top of my head. It's A mode of A major, the one that starts on E. Probably Lydia knowing my luck, because that's the one that's generally thought of as the perfect ambient scale. Just one that sounds kind of wacky. So with that, that's how we're going to end this. Big ol' chord, like with the string quartet song. We're just gonna have everything play one chord. And with that, insert the MIDI item. And we will snap everything to E major. And we'll just spread it out, because why not? Because you don't have to do them in the traditional straight cluster. You can spread them out. It'll make it sound more like you know what you're doing. So, whatever note was closest to that. B1. Very simple. And this note was a B3. Bit of a jump, but we can manage it. And this note was an D4. And finally here, F#4, so should be rather close. So that's the ending decided. Let's hear how everything sounds together. This brief little ambient interlude. Actually, before we do that, I have one more idea. Give it a bit more of a lead-in. We'll take this. I want a cold open of one element with one of these, but I'm not sure which. Hey, I have an idea. Let's go back to the actual gimmick of the fucking stream. Yeah, let's actually... little coin toss. Because as you saw, there are two directions I can go in. I want an opening where only one of those tracks is playing, but I couldn't decide whether I wanted the chords or the bass line. So, let's decide it this way. Heads, chords, tails, bass line. 3, 2, 1. It is heads, so we're going with the chords. So all we gotta do is take this, drag it over. Whoops, didn't mean to start that yet. I was trying to hit stop just to ensure that we were back at the very beginning. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and listen through to this randomly generated ambient piece of shit song. So, yes, Ray, I would say that is a very accurate assessment. For about an hour and a half of work and almost complete random generation, and having somebody who doesn't know what the hell they're doing with synthesizers, working with synthesizers, this doesn't sound like a complete meme. And sometimes it's really all you can ask for. It's amazing what you can accomplish with music when you're just completely fucking around. Just memeing. Being silly. So, I'd say that's our song. That's our little ambient piece. Again, for what it is, it's very, very nice. Couldn't have asked for a better result. Improvise, adapt, overcome. When you can't manage to use your own genre, when it just doesn't fit with what you've been given, sometimes all you gotta do is think outside the box, come up with another idea. And sometimes it'll actually sound decent. That's really just art in general. Sometimes you just gotta wander out, explore a bit, wander off the reservation, just improvise. So yeah, very nice. So, I believe that ends the main segment of the stream. So, before I say my goodbyes, it's time for the announcement. For all of you who were loyal enough to stick with me through all the scuff, all the fuckery, all the ambience, all the arguable boredom. So, drumroll please. What the hell am I doing? I can bring up a snare drum right here. What am I doing? Why am I asking you for a snare drum? I can provide my own. Let it load. Can you tell that I'm stalling a bit, making some build-up? Just making it all the more exciting, because this is a really exciting announcement, and it is not a joke. I'm dead serious. This is really exciting, especially for me. I've been waiting for a good opportunity to announce this for quite some time, and I figure, just for the sake of putting up with me being a clown, I owe you fine people a nice little parting gift. So, snare rolls. I'm getting an actual model made. Yes, that's right. None of this meme shit. I'm getting an actual, factual, honest-to-God, live 2D model made. Something that actually looks like what I want to look like. Something that actually looks somewhat professional. That's right, folks. It's happening. For real. No more of that shit-ass fucking No more of that shit-ass fucking V-Roid. I'm getting a live 2D made. And I can assure you, already, we're still early in the process, but I can tell you, already, the end result is going to look absolutely fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. I am so glad that you all got to witness that. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure those of you who've been with me since the beginning and were loyal, the loyal viewers will probably miss it just for the jank. Yeah, fucking die. Die, if you don't mind, I would like to disclose the story of how me getting a V-Roid came to be. But of course, as one of the other interested parties, I believe it is up to your discretion whether or not we share the story or not. Your call, not mine. Let me know. I can. Alright. So, story time before we leave. So, ever since the beginning, I have, if it were up to me, I would never have settled for a V-Roid at all, actually. What I wanted to do was shop around for 2D artists who would be able to bring my idea to life better than I ever could, because, as you can tell by the V-Rod, I am not artistically inclined whatsoever. This is where my talent lies right here. Music. Here, you know what? Let's not talk in silence. Let's actually, let's have this playing in the background for a bit. Just because, why not? So, what I wanted to do was join. I'm sure you've heard of the Live 2D Discord that Brian Suey of Iron Vertex runs. And that would be rather common sense, because that man and his group are essentially the first word in Live 2D art. So, I wanted to join it, and I wanted to shop around for independent artists who wanted to work with me on a Live 2D model. Slight problem. Recently, they have implemented an authorization bot called Alt-Identifier, whose alleged purpose is to keep out alternate identities, just scammers, just people who are not serious about Live 2D whatsoever. Just general silly people. There we go, that should be better. I don't know why I tried to alter it in the DAW when it didn't work that way. But whatever the case. So, back to the story. Alt-Identifier, it fucking sucks. I tried on 3 separate occasions to get into the server, and every time it would refuse to let me in. This is a well-known bug, but the administrators still are scratching their heads on how to fix it. So eventually I just got impatient. And that's where my friend Daishima comes in. It turns out, he had an account that was already in there. So, what he did was he basically had to play middleman for me. He managed to get in the server, when I didn't. So, he had to put out my Live 2D want ad on my behalf. Which, needless to say, was quite a daunting process for the both of us, because that's not his responsibility, it should have been mine, but out of the kindness of his heart, he decided to help me get in. I wasn't going to be quite that specific about it, but that's your call. Whatever the case. He made it in, and he got in contact with several artists, and that is how I met the 2 wonderful people who I will be working with, who I am not ready to disclose quite yet. Because we're still way too early in the process. However, that's the bottom line I was getting at. Not this Ryan Gosling PNG, not this V-Roid. Very soon, hopefully quite soon, I will be working with an actual, factual Live 2D model that will actually look good, that will actually fit my personality better, that will actually make me look somewhat fucking professional for once. Exciting times, my friends. You've stuck with me from the beginning. This is basically like following an indie band. You've been following them, staying loyal to them, just fucking listening to them absolutely suck ass, just worm their way through the scene. But here, this is where they start getting noticed. This is where they're actually starting to build up their brand a bit. This is where they're actually starting to sound good. Their first proper path, their first proper step onto the path of true stardom. I tell you, I am so excited. You are going to absolutely love it if I have anything to say about it. And yes, Dai, I owe you my fucking life for this, because again, if it were not for me, I would probably still be, if it weren't for him, I'd still be scratching my head. I would still be scratching my head trying to get into the server, and I probably would have given up and went back to trying to just scour random fucking Twitter hashtags praying for an artist. Which would never have really materialized, because I am too goddamn shy to explain to an artist what a live today even is, because obviously those who don't specialize in it will have it's generally not the easiest thing to explain to somebody who isn't already into this particular niche. But again, that's not a worry, and that's all thanks to our friend Dacia. So, not just that. I absolutely insist that not only you wait with bated breath for my live today, but also check Dai out. You should watch Dai. He is absolutely, he's new. He has a rather eclectic tastes, but I believe he would recommend too. Wait for Sunday, head to his Kung Fu tea sessions. That is his brand. He is a tea expert. He likes drinking it, he likes talking about it, and he knows his shit. But even if that's not your thing, even if it doesn't end up being your thing, he also does game streams, unlike my stupid ass. So, if you want, yep, exactly. Silly me, I forgot I already recommended him to JC. So, surprised I actually still do elsewhere. I've been trying to get the word out about you, because you fucking deserve it for this. I owe you this much. Yep. Oh, yeah, that's right. He's a Twitch streamer, unlike me. And yes, I know Twitch is where I would be if I was networking, but that's another story. I still have trepidations. Copyright-related trepidations, but that's a story for another time. Let's not bring down the mood. Let's end this stream on a high fucking note. I will remind you all that I have a live today coming. It looks fucking awesome, and it will fucking rock. It will bring my stream to the next level. It will be absolutely amazing. So, with that, I believe it is time for us to truly say our goodbyes. High fucking note, woo, exactly. Yes, exactly. You all know what it is. That's right. Let me tell you, I'm so glad that I will be getting rid of that Veyroid. It has a charm of its own, I suppose, but I don't want scuff. I want pro. I want to actually look like I'm supposed to look. So, that's the end of that. It's time for me to say my goodbyes for good. So, thank you all very much for coming. You got the first word. I cannot wait to get the word out on Twitter immediately after the stream. That will be happening. And I cannot wait to introduce you to the two lovely people I will be working with when we get to that stage. Exciting times, my friends. Exciting times. So yeah, thank you all very much. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for sticking with me through the good times, through the bad times, and through the amazing times to come. So, with all that, I will leave you with one last playthrough of my fun little ambient song, and I will say my goodbyes. Thank you all very much. Once again, I will see you very fucking soon. Have a good goddamn night.